All right, well, I just took out the SEC. Now it is time for me to take out College Game Day. More specifically, Desmond Howard. So when we talk about the Big 12 losing the perception war and how big of an issue it would be if Boise were to get that fourth bye in the college football playoff and not the Big 12, we have Exhibit A on just what an uphill battle this is already for the Big 12 and how much worse it would get if they were to lose that fourth auto bye spot to the Boise State Broncos. And Exhibit A comes from one of the guys and one of the entities that is supposed to be one of the real stewards of the sport, promoting the sport more than anybody, which should very much be just for the greater good of the sport. And that is College Game Day, right? College Game Day, which was once as much a part of the fabric of college football as anything. It was indispensable content on Saturday. It was something you had to tune into. And that has very much dwindled away. I barely watch it at all anymore. It is not appointment viewing. Some of that is just a product of the environment that we live in today, right? Some of that is there are a lot of ways we can consume niche content about the parts of college football that we care about. What you're doing right now, watching this channel, right? So it's not as necessary to watch the Saturday morning show that's going to focus in on college football at large as a whole. That is definitely a part of it. Lee Corso was a huge part of the show. Obviously, he's aging, and it's a bit of a tougher watch now with him, much as we all love him. It's part of that. Pat McAfee can be a polarizing figure. I guess for some people, that probably makes it better. For some, that might make it worse. But I think the biggest part of all of this is just that it just feels like the whole show is just an extension of the SEC and Big Ten propaganda machines. It is very much emblematic of just everybody in the sport right now. It just seems to be all about the big brands. At least for me, I mean, you guys know on this channel, we're coming at this from a non-Power 2 perspective. At least for me, it has felt that way for a while, where it's not about promoting the entire sport. It's not about promoting the good of the sport, the things that make the sport great. We had just last year, Pat McAfee crapping all over Washington State as they were going through their saga of getting left out of the Pac-12, which was a horrible thing and a horrible look. Not good. Not good. And now we have this clip from Desmond Howard on Saturday. Freaking Desmond Howard, man. I was very, very upset to have heard this on Saturday. Yes, it was about the Arizona State K-State game, but again, I would tell you, it's not because it involved my team. It's because it involved my conference, and this was a very important game in the college football world last week. So here is what Desmond Howard had to say.
Big 12, Arizona State, Kansas State still in the mix. They need a little help to get to the Big 12 title game.
I saw that on the rundown. I was like, why are we picking this game? I thought it was a mistake.
It might be the first one of those this season.
Yeah, but this Kansas State, I guess. Let's go Kansas.
Why are we picking this game is what Desmond Howard tells you. Desmond Howard says he saw that game on the rundown, 7-2 Arizona State at 7-2 K-State, a game that his network is airing, a game that involves teams in the league that his network is a partner with, and a game that has college football playoff implications, which again, his network is involved in airing. And the college football playoff is a made-for-TV entity that ESPN has a huge hand in. That is exactly why people wanted it, because it makes games like that matter for the college football playoff. All of that in place, and all Desmond Howard can muster is, well, I saw that on the outline, and I wondered why we were picking that. Like K-State, I guess, whatever. Bro, that is everything that all of us hate about the sport right now and where it is going toward. Desmond Howard is kind of playing the role of the fans there, where the currency of fandom in college football now has turned into, instead of like, hey, we win more games, we win the games, it's, no, we're a bigger brand. Look at our TV money. Look at how valuable we are on this Forbes list of the most valuable brands in college football. That's what it has turned into. And it's reflected now even in the guys who are supposed to be the real stewards of the game, promoting the game to everybody on College Game Day. And that is beyond horrible for the sport. Beyond horrible. So he's playing into the stereotype and just not doing his homework, outside of just the damage that does to college football when you're going to treat anything outside of a game between huge brands in the Big Ten or the SEC like that, like the redheaded stepchild. You're also just not doing your homework because, again, everybody wanted this expanded playoff. Most people anyway, not everybody, most wanted the expanded playoff. And the advantage of that is that it makes so many more games like that very meaningful. It adds extra layers to them that keep everybody more interested. You should be promoting that. Not only that, but again, your network is involved with the playoff. Your network was literally airing that game later that night. I'm sure Dave Fleming, who was doing play-by-play for that game, was thrilled to see Desmond Howard crapping all over it and basically telling people not to watch it. And then it's a conference that you are a partner with. Like, it is in your best business interest as an ESPN employee to hype up that game, and you've got nothing in you for that. Like, this is the problem that we have in the sport right now. And even if you are an SEC or a Big Ten fan, of which we have some that I've seen in the chat tonight, and there's no existential threat to you with all of this, so you're going to take it in a bit of a different way. I would still argue that there is long-term a bit of an existential threat in all of it, which is that if you keep doing this and you keep cutting out big swaths of the country, and if you're going to say, well, now nobody cares about our conference championship games and we might not be able to get 5 teams in this playoff, let's just go do our own thing. If you do that, you are going to alienate so many people that it's going to have diminishing returns for you. And you'll chase down the bigger TV paycheck for now. And you'll say it's because, well, we're under so much pressure and stress because of revenue sharing and we've got to hit that number. And you'll say all that. Get back to me in 10 years when the checks are not as fat because you have ruined what the sport is and cut out a good portion of the people who absolutely love it. And we're just barreling down this path, and you see it from all over the place. It's not just Twitter. It's not just going to twitter.com and finding the people who will take a dump on the Big 12 there, or the ACC, or G5s, or whoever. It's now the people that are literally on the show that should be just a bastion of everything that's great about the sport. That's where we are. That's where we're at. That's where we are at. Don't like that, but it is what it is. Let's get to James CC75. What's up, James? Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support of the channel.